Well, good morning. Hello from Delmarva. Welcome to the weekend, and welcome back to Shorebilly Farmer. So today we got a pretty busy day. Kind of everything's coming due at once. We have to spray fungicide and insecticide on our wheat. We've got like 95 acres of that to spray. And then I've also, first thing I got to do is spray the corn that we've already planted, that 20 acres that we planted the other day. And I'm going to pre-spray the 11 acres that we just disted. That's our last corn I have to plant. So when you spray 30% and bicep, or that atrazine, the pre-emerge chemical, you can incorporate it into the ground and it'll be okay. It actually helps it, because if you spray it and you don't get any rain on it, it doesn't activate the chemical soak down into the ground and it's not as effective. So it's best if you can incorporate it to do so. You just don't want to go too deep. Where we've already disted that down there, I can just kind of tickle across it to prepare the seed bed and just incorporate the 30% and the pre-emerge. So that's the first thing we're going to do. But at some point today, I think I'm going to throw Eugene on the sprayer, let him spray his wheat, while I go down and take my son with me to go plant that 11 acres. So we got to spray it first, disc it, then plant it. And then while that's happening, try to get Eugene to spray his wheat. And then when I get back, I can go spray my wheat. That's the plan. That's at plan A. By the end of the day, we'll be probably plan Q or P, or I don't know. We'll be deep into the plans. Another thing that has to take place today is our fire truck. The alternator belt broke and came off. So Eugene is going to look through his stash of belts to see if we have one to fit it. If we do not, then we've got to go get a belt for her. We can still run it without it. We just got to leave the booster box hooked to it to provide juice for the ignition system to run the spark plugs, but we don't really have to drive it much today. So it might not be a high priority thing, but you know, still something needs to be fixed. Now, the real question, was it too cold last night and will this start? I'm gonna say yes. I think it's gonna be a good day. I think it was warm enough last night that this will start. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No! Nope, ain't happening. Every time. In here, and I wanted to jump out. We planted this seed three days ago. Yeah, we planted this seed 3 days ago. I haven't sprayed here yet, so I'm going to dig in the ground and just see where our seed's at. See if our seed is fully germinated and should have a little shoot coming out of it by now. Especially in this ground, it holds moisture really well. It's black ground, so it you know, heats up pretty quickly. So let's take a look. I know it ain't that deep. Not yet. It's swelled up just a little bit. You can feel it soft, but no nubbins off of it yet. Make me money. Let's come over here, just try a different row. Thought I saw it. I can never find it. Dude, I hope it's not that deep. There it is. Yep, no tail. So not been in the ground long enough for a tail, and we've had some cold nights, so germination might be a little slow. It really should have had a tail on it by now, but it'll come along. We got good sun today. It's going to get warming up, so these things will all start popping off here soon. All right, back in the sprayer. So I was just curious back there when I was going about 10.5 miles an hour and spraying, how many acres per hour I was actually doing. And now that I've done the field, I figured I'd calculate it. And I found a formula. It's your width in feet. So we're 60 foot wide, times your mile an hour, which we were doing 10.5 miles an hour, times 0.1212. And I came up with this. 76, just say 76.5 acres per hour. That's pretty daggone good. I'll take that in this old sprayer. Now that's when everything's nice and smooth and I can go that fast. Most time, as you saw in previous videos, I'm beating and banging, but once the field's planted and it's leveled up, it does pretty good and we can go pretty quick. The only issue I really have, well, the only two issues I really have with this sprayer are, one, I can just about spray as fast in the field as I can go down the road. I'm limited to 15 mile an hour in road gear. And two is the cab is very noisy. Right now I'm idling and I'm having to holler at you in order for you to hear me. When I'm at 3/4 throttle, which is about where I run when I spray, I can't even hear the radio in here. I don't even know why they put one in here, truth be told. It's noisy. So that's one of the reasons why we're looking at upgrading sprayers. That and tank capacity. We've got some farms that are far away and it'd be nice to hold enough chemical to go spray both farms one after the other without having to stop, run home and get refill or take a tender truck somewhere. That job's done. So we got to go get the chemical to spray the fungicide and insecticide on the wheat, but it hadn't come in yet. So I'm going to take the tractor, the New Holland, go down and disc that land up that we just sprayed the pre-emerge on, and the 30%, work it in. I forgot to tell you, we got something else going on today too. This came up after this morning. Combine getting new tires. So I got them now. It's okay, hold this one. Eugene's got that project pretty well taken care of. I grabbed my lunch. We're gonna jump in the New Holland and the discs, go get that 11 acres squared up and ready to go, and we'll see where we are when that gets done. Another phone call. How's the day going? Doing this final discing is something that is just, it's satisfying. It is just one of those things. I mean, nothing, as long as nothing breaks. I shouldn't even said that. That's bad luck. But as long as nothing breaks, you know, you're not beating and banging around the field because it's already been disted over once, so it's pretty smooth as it is. You know, the only reason we're doing this is to bury what little bit of residue was left. I mean, this field yesterday morning when I came out here was weeds about a knee to a waist high. I had to go over it twice yesterday to get it in this condition, and I was going to let it lay until we had a rain on it and then do the final disking and plant. But what ended up happening was, because it came due for us to spray wheat, the fungicide on the wheat, I needed to get the nitrogen and atrazine, the pre-emerge, out of the sprayer so that way I could put the fungicide and everything we need on wheat. And I didn't want to have to switch everything back and forth. So it's not really a big deal to come out here and do this now. I just would have disted a little bit better if we had a, you know, let the dirt lay a little bit and then get a shower rain on it. To give a shameless plug to Farm Focused again, it's made it even more enjoyable, because before I was having to downshift when I got into soft areas and rev the engine, which makes more noise, all that stuff. I'm running 73% engine load, just cruising about 7.5 miles an hour, depending on the field condition, and I don't have to touch a thing. It's just, I don't have to downshift. Everything's nice and happy, running cool. You know, we're putting along 1600, 1700 RPM and just going. So there's one more shameless plug for Farm Focus, because I told you, if it's a great product, I'm gonna let you know about it, shout it from the rooftops. They've got a great product. I've thoroughly enjoyed having this tractor now set up with these discs. I was really worried about it, but now I mean, this tractor just plays with those discs. It's not even an issue for it. Anyway, this is one of them jobs. It puts a smile on your face. It's just me and the tractor out here. I'm listening to the radio. I mean, I was singing Barbie Girl like 5 minutes ago. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's a Barbie world. I'm just kidding. Come on now, Metallica. And it's probably not even that now. I was actually listening to Hank Williams and some of the old stuff. But anyway, this is why I love doing what I do. And I wish I could do it full time. It's because you can instantly see the benefit of your hard work. And seeing, a nice smooth seed bed. Next time I come out here will be to spray the corn when it's about knee high for Roundup, weed control, put on some fertilizer. It's just neat to see your hard work pay off. And this is what I like doing this. I mean, this is my office. It's hard to beat. I gotta get out and actually do some work. I don't wanna. Okay, that was a little bigger than I thought. I thought it was just this, but apparently it's attached to a tree somewhere back in there. It's out of the way mostly. Good enough. I can't keep doing this kind of manual labor. I'm a millennial. I am not cut out for that. All right, it ain't that bad. Time to jump out of one tractor and into the other. Well, Combine got all brand new sneakers on it while I was gone. They were working on them when you saw earlier, but these have quite a bit more meat to them. The other ones were starting to split real bad along the sidewalls. They're just dry rot. We looked at the manufacturing date. Those tires there were made in 2002, so they are 19 years old. These should last a little while. I don't think they're quite as wide as these were. I think these were a little bit wider. They might just be the way they look too. I'm gonna have to measure them. Brand new rubber. She knows how to put her rubbers on. So when I was leaving the field with the discs, I got out of the tractor to use the bathroom, and across the road there were some people outside. Yesterday, I don't know what I did, but I did something to my right hip. It's really tight, like all the muscles are tight. So I'm walking funny. And then last night, on my left foot, I stubbed my toe and hurt it real bad. So now I'm walking real funny. And I can only imagine, these people watch me get out of the tractor and like shuffle around the side of the tractor, like looking like Quasimodo, dragging a leg, limping on one side. And the only thing that come through my mind was, these people must think that I'm part of some like outreach farming program. Like, oh, that's nice. They got special needs people into farming now. That's really good. That's not just, that was a mess. I can imagine that was a heck of a sight for them to see. You gotta laugh at the little things. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? So Emmett just asked me an interesting question. I thought, you know what, maybe you guys don't know. He wanted to know why we were planting so much corn, because we don't eat this much. And I explained to him that we don't eat this corn, but we do in a roundabout way. Every bit of corn on Delmarva gets ground into chicken feed and then fed to the chickens, and then we eat chicken. So in a roundabout way, we are eating the corn, but we don't eat it directly. This is all what they call field corn or feed corn. Now, there are people that grow sweet corn in the area. We do in our backyard just for our consumption, but we don't do it commercially. But there's quite a bit of commercial grown sweet corn on Delmarva too. What do you think of being in the planter, buddy? Good? You don't sound too excited.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, we're stuck on Home Alone. Well, Emmett and I found something we've been looking for a couple weeks. The last pass of corn planting 2021, right there. And we only got to plant like 4 rows to fill in that area against this end row. But there it is, the last pass of 2021 for corn planting. How you feel about it, Emmett? Okay. So this planter, when you go to fold it up, we got to put the these markers, or excuse me, these lift wheels for the wings, we have to lock them up. So you got to put the planter all the way down, then turn off the hydraulics to them, and then when you lift the planter up, they stay up, but the main lift wheels over here, those main lift wheels will go down to lift the planter, but these will stay up. Usually I got to go back in the tractor to do this, but I got my helper. There he goes. See how that wheel stays up, and then those wheels are pushing down to lift the planter up. Stop. Now 2. Now he does 2, and we got to open this valve. And what that does is that gives us constant flow so I can fold the planter up. But first we got to take our turnbuckles that lock the planter in place. They got to be loosened up and swung out of the way. That screaming you're hearing is the hydraulics going through the bypass. That's that squealing. And we got to do some welding. We got a cracked weld right there. But we got the answer for that. So now we can fold this all up. A lot easier when you got your buddy helping you. Okay, here we go. This one's gonna unfold it, unlock it. Then this one will swing it out. Okay. Now it's all sitting in its cradles. See how it all folds back. And I've got to put the turnbuckles back down to lock it in transport mode. Easy as pie. Well, it's actually a lot to remember, but it becomes second nature after a while. Thank you, buddy. I told you today was going to be a messed up day of jumping around. So now we were getting ready to go put fungicide and insecticide on the wheat. While I was disking and planting, Eugene was pulled away to put tires on the combine to help that fella out, get that job done, which apparently that did not go easily. So it was a good thing the camera wasn't there. You guys would have heard a lot of adult language. I mean, he looks like a beaten down mule. Also, while I was disking, Eugene's been busy while I was gone. I didn't even know you knew how to work like that. He had to take the fire truck, which was running off of the booster box. He had to take it over to where our nitrogen tanks are and pump off the nitrogen that was left in this tank from us spraying our pre-emerge and 30% and get as much of it out as he could, so that way we could fill this back up with water for going to spray the wheat. Now there is a little bit of tiny nitrogen left in there, but the 10 gallons or 15 gallons that was left in there will disperse over the 1,100 gallons, and it's not going to be enough in there to really cause a problem with anything. So we already flushed all the lines out. All that's done. We've already got the chemicals mixed up, which is just a fungicide, insecticide, and a surfactant. The surfactant just helps it stick to the plant. That's pretty much it. So as soon as this is done, as soon as that's done filling up, we're going to blow it in the sprayer, and I'm going to go spray some wheat. So today we have disted, we have sprayed, we have put tires on. Eugene has attempted to fix the alternator belt. We are now going to spray again, and oh, and we planted corn. Am I missing anything? No, today's been a busy day. Look at him. He looks tired. The only thing I wish I could change would be the volume of this thing beeping all the time. But, you know, that's first world problems. That's for you, Jack. That's your saying. I stole that from a buddy of mine.